Hello everybody and welcome back to Musings by Nikki. I am here today with the finished product of my design team project for Tracie Fox, and kind of the book that I had done some craft alongs with recently, and it's also just heavily inspired by Wendy from Wendy's Journal Adventures. Wendy and Leo, hello. Hello to Tracie and Wendy. I am going to show you through this book in just a second, but quick at the top of the video, I want to say that I had said that I was going to do a giveaway for some of these, just a real simple one, for just some of these seed envelopes. So this is one, right, that has the window in it, and then this one does not. And they're from Target, but then I got comments from people and stuff saying, oh, they're cool, but I don't have a Target where I live, or my Target doesn't have them. So I have 3 packets of them ready to go. I've divided them up into 10 of each, and I have 3 of these. So if you stay tuned, at the end of the video, I will tell you what you need to do to get your hands on, or possibly win a packet of seed envelopes, because they are really fun, and you'll see some in here. Well, we played with them in one of the craft alongs too. So they're just really applicable, especially this time of year. You know, people are doing spring journals and summer journals and farm journals and everything, and they work really great. They're like a good size. So anyway, now on to this one. So if you remember with me, this is Nature Notes of an Edwardian Lady, right? So this is an Edith Holden book that I had, and when I took the dust jacket off, the cover was in really good shape, except it has this one little water stain blemish right up here, but apart from that, you know, the rest of it's in really good shape. Well, except it has, you know, scraps from my desk on it. Anyway, but it was a skinny little book, and when I had put, I can't do skinny little books. Even one signature books end up not being skinny. So I had to, when I finally started putting kind of all the components and things that I had done in with my signatures, it just was like, you know, it went like this. It was so bad, alligator mouth. So I will show you what I have done. I have made the spine way bigger. So I took it from, and now I'll show you. So it's just 2 signatures, but they're chunky. So here's what I did. This right here is the width of the original spine, and this right here is how big I've made it. So I took it from like maybe 3/4 of an inch to 2.5 inch rounded spine, and I just attached with well, it's glued on with a couple layers of muslin and some cheesecloth, and then some broadcloth, some brown like heavier canvas broadcloth kind of thing, and then I just put some brads through it, and it is just glued on. It's just attached right on there, and but it's kind of cool. So it still has, because you know that was in really good shape too, and I liked that. I like how this turned out. But then I just used some book repair tape and some other things and kind of reinforced. So now it's got this really solid, heavy-duty, rounded spine on it. But we can still have the original cover, which I liked. I usually, you know, decorate the covers of mine, but I really just liked how simple this was, and I didn't want to go too far in with any sort of cloth or anything to cut it off, because I like how it's, you know, centered for the most part. So anyway, enough about the cover of the book. It is fairly simple. That's about it, right? What you see is what you get. It's, like I said, it's 2 signatures. There's a hidden spine, clearly, because you can't see the stitching. There's lots of fun junk in here. We'll look through that. Some, you know, fuzzies and stuff. I left the strings on, so there's strings from the sewing around on things and stuff. There's some really long eyelash trims in here and stuff. So, like I said, this book is I just have been really enjoying Tracie's newest kits, and I've really been enjoying all of Wendy's ideas. I was kind of binge watching them while I was having a kind of a flare-up of some of my pain issues earlier this month, and so I binge watched some Wendy videos and really got inspired. So here we go. It just ties closed with this muslin It's just coffee stain muslin, and it runs through the actual you know, closure. So that's how it ties closed. And here is the front cover. This is just a big envelope that I made, and it opens up, and inside here is just some coffee stained paper that you could write in. It's like a little, kind of its own little mini journal, and it is sewn shut along, or just sewn shut. It is sewn, bound by sewn, and it's just some papers that you could write on, and then they tuck in here nicely. So they tuck away. These are from Tracie's, the discs here. I have just reinforced. I printed them on sticker paper, right? And then I stuck them to some cardstock, and then I made them into the little discs for my closures, and I've done that in a couple places. And this is, you know, these are the little charms. So this is a kit that she has, and I showed it in one of my craft-alongs, but here it's just been put on a bulb pin, and on one side there are the little flowers or butterflies or plants, and then on the back side there's just a blank spot. So these I printed on sticker paper, and then I just stick them together and punch a hole. It's super slick. Here I've used them for closures. They're the perfect size to be these little discs. And I just use the back side, the plain side, for these. But you'll see these used in a couple different ways throughout this book. This also flips out, so there's a magnetic closure right here. So this flips out, and there are just some pockets in here. And in the pockets are some of Tracie's kit, the tags and toppers. What I did was printed them out at 200% and got these huge ones. So like this is the regular size, and this is jumbo size. Actually, this is jumbo size, regular jumbo, so like 2 times as big. And then I just trimmed them down so they would fit inside these pockets. And this paper here is the original end paper from this book. So they fit down in here. And then here and along this edge here are some of Gail Agostinelli's digital kits trims that she has. They're super awesome. I bought this pack specifically for this, with this book in mind. So here's some here along the top of this as well. They screamed botanical journal, so I bought the kit and I've loved it. I printed it out on sticker paper. Then it's literally just like washi, but you don't even have to reinforce the washi with glue stick like you normally would, because sticker paper is way thicker. So this is just a big crinkly bag with some collaging, and then these are Tracie's newer kit vintage botanical plates, and they are gorgeous. If you've watched the craft-alongs with me on this book, you will probably have heard me, you know, goo and gaga about these things, but they're beautiful. And the tags and toppers as well, I've used in a lot of different ways. So this is one of the toppers from this, from the tags and toppers, and I've used them as tabs in several places. This is just a big journal card that goes in the top of this envelope here. And then right in here, there is a tiny little tag, and I made the tag out of one of the toppers. And then these are little pieces here of her tiny ephemera kit, which I also printed onto sticker paper. Can you tell I'm into the sticker paper thing? I printed that on sticker paper and turned it into just some embellishments on this little tag. So there we go with that. Super cute, and it just fits in this little pocket behind this book plate. Then there's some stamped muslin, and we'll see lots of stuff in here. Next page. This is a flap right here. It flips out. And then this here is, this flips up. This is just a guest check that I altered. It's clipped on. You can unclip it, and it can come off. And it's just a tag that I altered. I have also used a couple of pages from my newest kit called the Naturalist. I printed them off and cut them and stuck them inside of these pockets. So these are just half pages from that kit that I printed off, and then these are just pockets that I stuck them in. So you can actually take them out and journal on the back of them. I've made several little collages in this book using some of these words are from Tracie's kits. This is just some more stamped muslin that's coffee stained. Here is some Tim Holtz. There's a couple pieces of Tim Holtz vellum, just in a botanical theme that run through this as well. Here's more of that awesome trim from Gail's shop. This is a fabric flip up. So that flips up and you can journal underneath there. It's fabric. There's some really awesome long eyelash trim here. This is brown, and then this is some sari silk back here, and a paper leaf with that's actually just pinned on with one of these Tim Holtz safety pins that I love, and then that's actually from my kit. This page just has some, I have a lot of pages that are shorter and longer in this book because I kind of like this peeking through at the next page thing. So this page just has some of that leaf vine trim up the side. Here's a little, speaking of shorter and longer pages, this is just some stamping. There is just some sewing up and down the edge of that. And here is one of the elements that we made, kind of inspired by a Wendy thing. So it's held on with this clip, and you pull it off, and it opens up, and I'll just breeze through this quick because there's craft alongs. But in this pocket here, this is one of the tag toppers that I've used as a tab. This is one of Tracie's kit as well. This is one of the tiny embellishments. And then on the back there's a tablet of paper that you can write on, and that slides back inside here. This pocket and this file folder that I've used here is the lace and wooden lace. Oh my goodness. I always try to make myself a list, and I totally went at it without a list today. So I'll put all of Tracie's kits below that I've used, because I've used several of them. Well, okay, I'll put the main kits that I've used because some of them are pieces from a lot of things, but these are from the tags and toppers. I've used them here as hinges and tiny embellishments, vintage botanical tags, tiny embellishments, tiny tag, and it's got a little, it has a little bit of string on there. And then I put these little leaf charms that dangle from the tabs, like I said, and then this one is a waterfall flip up of these tags, and you could write underneath there or on the backs of those as well. This is some more Gail trim. These are all from her tags and toppers, Tracie's tags and toppers, and then these words come from one of her kits as well. So this whole thing goes over the edge here, and is, like I said, held on with this clip. And this is the back side that we didn't see before, but it is, whoops, I got this all mixed up here. There we go. This is just more collage from Vintage Botanical Plates. Then here's a little half page. Here's another little collage, and it has a Vintage Botanical Plate in there. They're like ATC size, and they work great as journaling spots as well, journaling cards. This is just some fabric that I had in stash with some really pretty greens and red flowers and blues on there. Some butterfly stamping. These are some pages. I've left a few of the original pages from this book in. So this is one of the Edith Holden images from that came in this book cover. This is from my Naturalist kit. So this is a drawer front, and then these little kind of Rolodex card type of things come. You can journal on the back, but they have pictures of what it is on the front there, and then they layer up and go inside the pocket. Pretty fun. In the middle here, in the middle of the signature, I just have a couple of beads on one of the signature ties, and then on the other one I just have a little leaf. This here is another one of the tags. I put the topper on the way it was actually intended to go on the top of the tags and toppers kit, but then I couldn't help myself and I sewed some sari silk on the top there, and so that goes behind. But look at those images, they're just gorgeous, and the camera of course is not doing the colors on them justice. And then inside this vellum secondary layer pocket here is another one of the vintage botanical plates, and it kind of goes lovely with these pink and purpley flowers over here. So it's original Edith Holden. Here's just some leaf stitching and some butterfly stamping. Some more paper leaves, sari silk collaging. It's some leaf stitching on there. Another little collage with stamped muslin. Some beautifully coffee dyed lace paper from another shop on Etsy. Here's just another collage with some torn up vellum. I printed some of the vintage botanical plates on vellum, and they work great as, you know, kind of as layers in between things, and you'll see them used in a couple different other ways as well. So here's just a little collage with some stamped muslin and some of the vintage botanical and a butterfly. Here's another one of the elements that I made on a craft with me. So I'll just show you quickly. This is one of those seed packets, right? So you can kind of see how I've used it here. It has a layered up, the Tim Holtz layered pocket. I forget what it's called. I feel like everybody says that when they use this one. Anyway, it's layered up. It's got a mini tag in the front. It has this little mini file folder here with the butterfly stamped on it. In this pocket, it has one of the tags from my Naturalist kit on there, and then in the back it has one of Tracie's top tags and toppers images. Again, look at how gorgeous. So those all fit down in this pocket, and it's just layered up with some cheesecloth and some stamped muslin. But when you flip it over, it's a notebook, so it has little tabs on the pages here, and I've sewn that to the flap. And in the pocket, I just punched out a little thumb spot, and there's just a little piece of coffee stained paper with a chunk of one of the toppers and some of Tracie's mini ephemera. The stickers, when I printed them out onto sticker paper, it was just brilliant because they work so well as just kind of like a last minute, you know, extra little bit to stuff. Like, so they work great for that because I can go, it needs something, and then I'll reach for Tracie's sticker things that I made from the tiny ephemera, and it works great. Ooh, that's long. We'll trim that. Here is another little collage that I've turned into a tuck spot. This is one of her tea cards, and then in there I've done one of the tags with no topper, which is kind of nice. It leaves this blank spot up here, and you could label what you were writing about on the back or put a date. And then another one of the vintage botanicals. Those are just tucked in there. These are just some layered pockets. I made the first part of this with one of her tags and toppers. This is from my Naturalist kit. And then here's just a piece of paper that I had in one of my paper pads. And then I used one of the toppers on here as a tab. Some more vine trim, another collage with this really long, oh, it's so fun. Look at how long the eyelashes are on this green, and it's this lovely forest green. So these all come, this is from her faux ephemera kit, this is from her tea cards kit, this is from labels. All Tracie, all day long. Look at that. More just collaging on the side, and some Tim Holtz. I better hurry up or it's going to take forever to get through this. Here's another pocket here. And this is just another page from the other half of one of the pages from my Naturalist kit. And then down here I've layered up some cheesecloth, some old vintage paper, some beautiful yellow sari silk on here. And then here's another collage over here with several of the elements from Tracie's kits over there. I'm going to see if I can zoom in just a little bit. Maybe you'll be able to see a little better. I was worried because this is such a huge book. There, maybe that's a little better. Okay. This is the center between the two signatures. I ran a piece of Gail's trim on the piece of paper that I was, or the seam binding stuff that I was kind of sewing my signatures into, and I love the way it looks in between here. That was a really, I was not sure if it was going to work out really well, but it was a really cool decision, and I love it. It just adds such a neat thing between the two signatures. So there you go. There's another idea with her trim. This is one of the altered glassine bags that I made. Just layered it up with a bunch of ephemera pieces, and then I made 2 tall tags to go in here. This is one of the toppers from her tags, and this is just an owl image that I have because A, I love owls, and B, I have a whole bunch of these punches from some paper that I was using. And then this whole thing flips open. It's just some Edith Holden on the back, and it's actually my birthday, October 12th. I just noticed that now. And then there's some journaling space for you there. So that's that side. And then on this side, this is a tuck spot behind this pocket, and I've just put some lace, a lace flip up on there, and some vine along the top on this gorgeous paper. And it's just a trifold. You can journal in there. You could, you know, put pictures or whatever you want to do. And that tucks behind this guy, and it just kind of barely hangs over the front with its lace. And then this specimen thing is from my naturalist kit. This is some more of Gail's trim. This is another one of those little discs that I used from Tracie's kit as the little disc for the closure. And it has a little Tim Holtz metal plate that says breathe. And this is some more Wendy inspiration right here. So she made some like this. When you flip it open, there's some collaging of different Tracie elements up here. And then in here I have a tag from my kit, the naturalist. Then I have 2 pieces of Tracie ephemera. Look at this one with gorgeous pears on it and the cross section over here. And then behind that is one of the tags, just printed out the way it was meant to be, but I took the topper and turned it sideways, and so made it more like a tab instead of flat. And then I punched a hole and tied, that's another Wendy inspiration, using tie, like twine to tie things on. And it's another one of the little discs, and if you can see, I've put a little mini teeny weeny, I mean, look at the size of my nail, and look at that. It's a little tiny ticket, and that's a little tiny butterfly, and they're from the tiny embellishment kit from Tracie. Again, those are on sticker paper, and it just works so great to decorate stuff up. So love that kit, love those kits. They're kind of sitting right over there. I have a little plate and a little tin that are just full of them for use on whatever I'm doing, because they work so great. So this is the beginning of the next signature. Here's some butterfly stamping. This you can take it's a little file folder. These here and these here are more of those stickers from the tiny embellishments. When it closes, this is one of the vintage botanicals. And then I actually took, when I printed that out, I cut the word vintage botanical out of vintage botanical plates like that, and glued it on, layered it on with a bunch of stuff behind it. This is another Wendy inspiration. She did these round tags, and so I thought I would try my hand at it. This is from Mrs. Cogg's Pink in the Garden. I had some of these left over. So it goes inside this cute little round tag. More Wendy inspiration. This is some layers of different pages, right? So, but they look cool together. This is some trim, vine trim, and this paper is kind of a light gray. It's hard to tell on camera. And then this is some sari silk and some more of that really awesome long, extra long green eyelash trim. Here's another tag that I made. This is embossed paper back here, just a sewn on muslin pocket with another vintage botanical, and that's just a plain old tag in the back that just clips on. Here's another where I've used the tag toppers. This is another one of my half pages from the Naturalist kit. That's what that looks like. They're just tucked into these pockets that I've layered up with some different stuff on the bottom, and you could stick whatever you wanted to, pictures, tags, other things. You could take this off and stick it in there. It's a nice big pocket that you could fit a lot of stuff in. Here's some more collaging with different elements. Here I grabbed this one because, you know, squirrel, right? So Wendy, squirrel. So I had to throw that one in here because it's Wendy inspiration book. But I also just really love this image here. Here's another one of the elements that I made in a craft along. I've turned it into a pocket, so this is an actual envelope just flipped upside down. If you want to see the logistics of this guy, you can check out my craft along. This is just a big tag that I stuck in there behind it this way. It has a couple of little sticker ephemeras that I made on there. Then in the front pocket, there is just this piece of vintage botanical plate, and then this is this one. So can you kind of see it's on vellum, and it's just a large, folded in half, a large coffee stained index card. So that goes in there. This goes here. This is from her white or yellow tea cards. And then in the back here, there is another tag that I made with the vellum botanical plates. Then on this tag, there are two of the little mini discs from that kit that I made as stickers. And lastly, there is another one of these seed packets. And this was the one with the window in it. And when you flip it over, out comes, this is just a piece of coffee dyed paper on some 7 Gypsies paper, I believe it is, and this flips up. So that's tags and toppers, one of the florals from there, and it just peeks through the window, and that goes back in here. Here is some more collaging. This is another fabric flip up right here. This is a little tassel. I had to, it's a quick little story on this one right here. I had to take the string off of a bobbin because I had run out of this thread, and it's this really pretty kind of olivey green, and I started pulling it off thinking, oh, I'm just gonna end up wasting this little bit of it. And then as I was pulling, I think I just really didn't realize how much was on there. So then I thought, okay, I'm gonna keep it. But it's this nice thick thread. And then as I was winding it around my fingers, I was like, oh, it'll make a cute little tassel. So there we go. That's where that came from. Taking it off of a bobbin because I needed an empty bobbin. Invention is the, wait. I was going to say that quote, and now I can't do it because my brain is fried. Scattered. Long day with the kiddos at school today. Anyway, here's another flip right here. It's just layered up with this is some braided twine and some sari silk. And when you flip it open, this is a piece of Tim Holtz vellum, and you can journal under here. Necessity is the mother of invention. There we go. I knew it'd come eventually. You guys are all probably screaming it at the camera right now. This is just another one of the vellum vintage botanical plates, and I sewed it on top of some tea stain muslin. It's another flip. It's on, this is some embossed and stained up paper, and then here's some more of that really lovely long eyelash trim. This little half piece has a tag and topper on it that I've just sewn across the top. This is some more of that lovely Gail Agostinelli trim. Look at that one. Ooh, it's luscious. It's so pretty. And it's a sticker, so it just stuck right down on the edge like giant washi. Let's just done some stamping. Another Edith Holden page. This is a collage of some leaves. And then this is a collage that has a little wooden butterfly, some stamped muslin, another image from Pink in the Garden, and then some cheesecloth and another wooden butterfly button up there. The center of the signature has, again, this has just a couple of little beads on it, and then this one has a little leaf charm on it. So those dangle and just hang out the bottom of the book just slightly. Whoops. Some more leaves, some more Edith Holden page. This is another one of the tags that I made on a Craft With Me, and it's just on with this little Tim Holtz clip. And it's got sari silk on the top and a stamp, and it opens on the side with this card that goes in the side pocket here, and it's just some Edith Holden on the back, another one of the toppers. This disc is from Tiny Embellishments, and then this little clip on this bulb pin is another one of the little discs. I can't even for the life of me cannot remember what that kit is called, but I'll link it below. I just keep calling them mini discs. So, and it just hangs off the side here, so it kind of dangles outside of the book. This is a really cool tree stamp that I have. It didn't stamp very well because I didn't put anything behind it, but I really kind of like the way that that turned out, actually. Here's another little half page with a tag and topper sewn on. These are just some kind of book corners that I sewed onto. This is a sagey green, but of course it looks like washed out gray on the camera. So it's really sunny, and I've got the lights on in my studio, otherwise it'd be shadowy. So sadly, you can't see how beautiful and sagey green this is. This is just some more Tim Holtz vellum. This is some more Gale trim. This is another little collage down here with a bunch of pieces. And then this is some beautiful leaf sewing that runs up along the edge here, on the edge of the Gale trim there. And so then it runs along here. And then there's a collage over the top. This is another collage with one of her tea cards, and behind it are a couple more of the images. Here is another one of the pages from my kits, The Naturalist. This flips out. On top of it is my, if you watch some of my other videos, if you've watched along with other things, you'll know that this tall bag that is behind here is a Chili's silverware bag that I was so excited to have. So we've not been back to eat there yet. We have priorities, right? We need to get back there so I can get some more of these super cool skinny tall bags. Anyhow, it's layered up with another one of Tracie's tea cards, and in the background here is another one of the lovely tags and toppers and some stamped muslin. And then this just came out of my stash somewhere, and there are two tall tags in here. They both have a tags and toppers tag. This one was kind of a misprint, so it cut off the edge, which is fine because it made it a little bit skinnier, and it was really cool. And I just made them flips on top of some old, really grungy dyed index card, and this one flips up as well. And then I put some of Gail's trim that I had left as a sticker on the top as a tag there. And then this is one of the toppers. I pinched a couple holes and put some eyelets through, and then just tied a little bit of twine. So those fit down in my super cool modified Chili's silverware bag that now has its second and more long-lived life as in a beautiful journal. That is also some Wendy inspiration, because she's done some really cool altered bags and collaged things. Back here is another flip and collage space. This is just some of the Edith Holden pages. And then back here is a layered pocket with some vellum and some ripped up this is just from my stash. This is from my Naturalist kit. And then this tag is from Tags and Toppers, and I've put the topper on the way I think it was actually intended on that one. This is one of the few places that I put it on. It was probably the way it was intended. Actually, knowing Tracie, she probably made it and knew that people would use it in a variety of ways, because her kits are so interchangeable and easy to use and be creative with. Speaking of, look at this. So these are, can you see this? Yeah, I think so. These are some more of those little discs, and I said you'll see them used in other creative ways. So this is some sheer ribbon that I had, and I've kind of, it's a little bit stronger than just, you know, yarn or something. So I've stuck the tags on both sides of it, just, you know, cut it to different lengths, stuck the stickers together on the end of that, and then I put them, laid them out how I wanted them to hang and dangle, and then put a piece of my sticker Gale trim over the top to hold them to the page. And now they are kind of just these little fun little dangly things. Super, super fun. I like that. That'll be in more journals. I started doing this and I thought, ooh, I have all kinds of ideas with that. So there they go. You just got to make sure that they lay down flat, otherwise they could probably get bent. But look, cute little roses and a little black and white flower and a ladybug on that one. Fun, fun. Here's another Wendy inspired round tag with another Mrs. Cog beautiful image from Pink in the Garden. That just slips inside there. And onto the last page. This is my little Musings by Nikki tag. This is another one of those. I'm not going to go through all of the things in here because it's the same stuff that was in the other pocket, just like this. If you want to see more about how I made these, you can check out that Craft With Me video. This one says Wander. And then on this back page, this is a collage. These little things are from Tiny Embellishments. This is Graphics Fairy. These are just some of my paper leaves. And then in this top little pocket here are two of Tracie's seed pockets, and these are the Arabesque seed pockets. And there's a kit, and I think it comes with like 6 or 8 or 10, I don't know, but they're gorgeous. And I had a couple from something else that I had done, so I put them in here, and they actually open up. And I don't have anything in there, but you could put extra little bits and things of stuff in there. And they fit into this top little pocket. And this is some more of that original paper from this book. So there we go. That is the end of this guy. I hope that did not take too long. Thank you so much for watching. This was a really fun project to make. Again, every once in a while I just really get inspired by somebody's work. This crafting community that we're in, if you are in this junk journaling kind of crafty community, it's just gorgeous. It's lovely. It's filled with wonderful, supportive, awesome people. And so I'm so grateful. So thank you, Tracie, for the wonderful inspiration from your kits. And thank you, Wendy, for all the wonderful inspiration from your YouTube channel and for sharing that with us. Like I said, she's a calm and friendly voice to have while you're crafting. And, you know, it's always fun to see Leo come through. And it's a nice way for me to enjoy cats because I'm really allergic. So it's a nice way for me to enjoy them from a distance where I won't be sneezing all the time. Anyhow, now, really quickly, if you would like to enter the giveaway for these three, you know, one of the 3 packets of these seed envelope things, what I need you to do is be subscribed to my channel. You have to be subscribed. I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up. And then you definitely need to leave a comment below. And what I would like you to comment is, if you were to win these, what's one idea that you think you might have with them? So what's something that you might want to try? Do you want to try doing what I did with them in here? Do they instantly, you know, give you some sort of other creative idea? I think you could probably even just mail little thank you cards in these because you could address them. So seriously, I just love hearing other people's ideas with things. So if you were to win these, what's something that you might want to try with them? If you have no clue, then just say, hi, Nikki, how's it going? I would love to win some. And come up with an idea when I get them. Anyway, so you have to be subscribed. Please like it and leave a comment down below. This will go into my Etsy shop. It should be there by the time that I post this video. And the link for that will be down below, as well as the links to Wendy's channel and all of the Tracie kits that I used in here. So, as always, thank you guys so much for coming along with me and watching my video today. I will see you guys all again very soon. I have a couple more things that I'm going to film, and then we're going to start into a new craft along series as I maybe work through one of my own kits. So, anyway, thanks guys for all the support. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.